Stop guessing. The secret's to winning her over every single time. Forget everything you've heard about men always being the ones who want it more. That is an old, tired myth that has been passed down for too long. The real truth, the one that will actually change your relationship, is that women often have a drive that is much deeper and more intense than a man's. The only reason it feels like she isn't interested is that you are probably trying to connect at the wrong time. If you are constantly hitting a wall and hearing not in the mood or I'm too tired excuse, it's not because she doesn't love you. It's because you are fighting against her natural biological clock instead of working with it. You have to stop playing the guessing game and start paying attention to when her body is actually screaming for your touch. When you learn to time your approach to match her internal rhythm, everything changes. You stop being the man who is disturbing her, and you become the man she is literally waiting for. Understanding this rhythm is the ultimate cheat code for a happy home. Think about it. When a woman is truly satisfied, when her body has been reached at the exact moment it was craving it, she becomes a completely different person. She becomes more generous, more patient, and more loving in every other area of the relationship. You'll notice she stops complaining about the little things. She might surprise you with gifts, cook your favorite meals without being asked, or just show you a level of appreciation you haven't seen in years. It's because a woman who is physically and emotionally satisfied by her man feels safe and connected. By mastering this timing, you aren't just improving your time in the bedroom, you are fixing the very foundation of your relationship. You are moving from a place of frustration and rejection to a place where your woman is obsessed with you because you finally get her. Most men make the mistake of waiting until the end of the night when everyone is exhausted, the kids are finally asleep, and the stress of the day has taken its toll. That is the hardest time to get a yes. But when you shift your focus to her peak windows, you are catching her when her guard is down and her desire is naturally high. You are no longer working hard to convince her to be in the mood. The mood is already there, built into her DNA, just waiting for you to show up and trigger it. This is about being a smart partner, a businessman of the heart who knows when to invest his energy for the highest return. When you hit those specific marks, you aren't just knacking, you are building a bond that makes her feel like the luckiest woman alive. Stop guessing, stop the trial and error, and start paying attention to the two specific times when her body is designed to say yes. 1. The magic of the early morning, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. The absolute most powerful, yet most frequently ignored window for deep intimacy is that quiet, sacred time between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. While the rest of the world is still fast asleep and the house is silent, a woman's body is going through a massive biological transformation. You see, while she is sleeping, her entire system is resetting, her mind is relaxing, and her hormones are recharging. As the early morning light starts to break, those hormones don't just wake up, they peak. This is why you will often notice her subconsciously drifting toward you in the dark, seeking your warmth, or reaching out to cuddle before she is even fully conscious. She isn't just looking for a blanket, her body is sending out a signal of deep readiness. At this hour, her blood flow is increased, her skin is more sensitive, and her natural wetness is often at its highest point of the day. If you pay attention, you'll see that her body is practically begging for a connection before the stress of the world even has a chance to touch her. This is the ultimate cheat code for any man who wants to stop hearing no and start hearing yes. The beauty of the 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. window is that there is absolutely no work required to get her in the mood. In the late evening, she might be thinking about the bills, the kids, or her boss, but in the early morning, those distractions haven't arrived yet. The mood is already there, pre-installed by nature and waiting for you to simply show up. Especially during seasons like the Harmattan or a cool, rainy morning, the cozy factor makes her even more receptive. When the weather is chilly and the bed is warm, Her desire for physical closeness triples. If you reach out to her during this time, you aren't disturbing her sleep. You are meeting a need she might not even realize she has until you touch her. It is the most natural, effortless time to connect because her defenses are down and her pleasure centers are wide open. If you want your woman to walk through the rest of her day obsessed with you, this is the golden window you cannot afford to miss. When you satisfy her in the early morning, you are setting the tone for her entire day. She wakes up feeling seen, desired, and physically fulfilled, which changes how she treats you for the next 16 hours. She becomes softer, more attentive, and far more likely to go out of her way to make you happy. This isn't just about the act itself, it's about claiming that time when her body is at its most vulnerable and its most powerful. Stop waiting until 11 p.m. when you are both exhausted and the spark is dim. Wake up a little earlier, notice that subtle shift in her movement, and take the lead. From 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., the atmosphere is scatter the data levels of intense. If you can master this morning rhythm, you will transform from just a partner into the man who truly understands the secret language of her body. 2. The ovulation peak, when her body takes the lead. If the early morning is your daily advantage, then ovulation is your monthly superpower. This is the second critical window where a woman's biological drive moves from a whisper to a roar. During this specific phase of her cycle, she isn't just willing to be intimate, her body is literally hardwired to seek it out. This is nature's design at its finest. During ovulation, a woman's estrogen and testosterone levels spike, which does something incredible to her entire being. She starts to feel more attractive, her skin often has a natural glow, her voice might even change slightly, and her desire for physical touch becomes an actual physical craving. For many women, their bodies pepper them during this time. They feel a restless energy that can only be settled by deep physical connection. If you have ever wondered why your woman is suddenly more playful, more touchy, or more receptive to your advances out of nowhere, check the calendar. She is likely in her peak window, and her hormones are doing all the heavy lifting for you. For men, this is what I call easy mode. You don't need to be a world-class romantic or spend hours on elaborate foreplay because her body is already 90% of the way there. During ovulation, her natural sweetness and internal sensitivity are at an all-time high. Every touch feels more electric, every kiss is more intense, and her capacity for pleasure is magnified. Even if you aren't a marathon man who can go for an hour, she will likely enjoy the experience more during this window than at any other time of the month. Her body is so ready and so lubricated by nature that the connection is smoother, deeper, and far more memorable. This is the time when she is most likely to be adventurous and open to new things because her primal instincts have taken over. If you want to be the man who makes her mourn and cry with happiness, you need to stop treating every day of the month the same and start targeting this specific peak. This window is also absolutely non-negotiable if you are planning to become a father. This is the time when life is created, and nature ensures she is at her most fertile and her most desiring simultaneously. As a man, you need to be an obedient businessman during this time. Don't say you are too busy with work, don't say you have a late flight to catch, and don't let business trips pull you away. If you are away during her ovulation, you are missing the most important appointment of the month. Some women even experience ovulation pain or a slight increase in body temperature, which they might mistake for feeling unwell or sick if they don't understand their cycle. As her man, if you understand this better than she does, you can step in and provide the relief and connection her body is actually asking for. To truly master this, you must become a student of her cycle. Every woman is different. Some feel a surge of energy, while others feel a deep, heavy longing, but the result is always the same: a heightened need for her man. When you show up for her during ovulation, you aren't just doing your duty, you are feeding a biological hunger. This is the time when she will hang her legs on the fan or do whatever it takes to feel you close because her hormones have made her the aggressor in the best way possible. By tracking this cycle and being ready to deliver, you prove that you are in tune with her on a level that other men completely ignore. You become the man who knows her secrets, the man who satisfies her when she needs it most, and the man she can never imagine being without. Stop letting these monthly peaks pass you by in silence. Mark the calendar, watch for the signs of her glow and her increased touch, and be the man who knows exactly how to handle that fire. 3. Don't let weak performance kill the moment. Knowing exactly when your woman is ready is a massive advantage. But let's be honest, knowing the right time is only half the battle. If you identify that golden window at 5 a.m., but you don't have the strength or the engine to back it up, you are going to leave her more frustrated than if you hadn't started at all. Imagine the scene. Her body is peaking, she is wide open, her hormones are singing, and she is expecting a memorable experience. But you show up with low energy, or worse, you finish the race before she even finds her rhythm. You cannot satisfy a woman who is in her peak hormonal state if you are operating as a 1 minute man. When her drive is high, she needs a man whose stamina matches her intensity. If your hormones are imbalanced, or if you feel tired, lit, and sleepy when you should be powerful and commanding, you are letting these golden opportunities slip through your fingers every single day. You don't want to be the man who understands the timing but lacks the tools to finish the job. This is exactly why we created our specialized hormone boosters. You see, it's not just about trying harder or having willpower. It's about the chemistry inside your body. If your internal system is scattered, your performance will be scattered too. We have formulated powerful, natural boosters for both men and women to ensure that your bodies are firing on all cylinders when it matters most. For the ladies, it helps balance those moods, clears away the agony or hatred some feel during their cycle, and increases that natural sweetness. For the men, it clears the brain fog, fixes the hormonal hymn your body is singing, and gives you the raw, consistent energy needed to take charge of those early mornings. You don't want to be the man who is not in the mood or too exhausted to move when your woman is practically begging for your attention. Our boosters fix the root cause so that when the clock hits 4 a.m., your body answers the call immediately. We also have to talk about the quality of your yogurt. If you are a man who has noticed that your sperm is looking watery, thin, or just isn't giving you the confidence you need our sperm boom treatment. This isn't just about how things look. It's about power, vitality, and the dream of fatherhood. If you are planning to make your woman carry a baby soon, you cannot afford to have a sleepy or lit system. Sperm Boom is specifically designed to significantly increase your volume, boost your count, and make your results standard and strong. When you connect during her ovulation, which is the most fertile time of her life, you want to make sure you are bringing your absolute best to the table. It makes the entire experience feel more standard and high quality for both of you, giving you the results you've been praying for and the legacy you want to build. Finally, let's address the elephant in the room: stamina. If you know in your heart that you cannot hold it for long, you need to stop making excuses and start seeking a solution today. It is a painful thing for a woman to be at her highest peak during her ovulation, ready to go all night, only for her man to tap out in 60 seconds. That is how resentment starts. Don't be that guy who leaves her hanging her legs without any satisfaction. If you are struggling to last, or if you feel like you've lost your standard performance, DM me right now. Our stamina support is the real deal. It helps you take that control so that you decide when the session ends, not your tired body. We deliver nationwide, so distance is never a barrier to you becoming the man your woman deserves. Stop wasting these precious peak moments by being unprepared. You now have the knowledge of the when, so make sure you have the physical power of the how. Don't let another morning pass where she wakes up ready and you're too weak to deliver. Get your boosters, fix your stamina, and start making these moments legendary. Does your partner seem more active during the morning or during her cycle? Tell me your experience in the comments, and let's get you the help you need to keep that fire burning. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.